आकाश को छू जाए है हर किरण में उम्मीद, हर दिल में अरमान। सूरज की रोशनी से रची नई कहानी, पवन के हर झोंके में है सेवा की निशानी। मिट्टी का है मन, ऊर्जा का सम्मान, मिलकर सजाए भविष्य, यही है पहचान। हरियाली की उड़ान, सपनों का आसमां, आदानी का विश्वास, ले चले हिंदुस्तान। धरा से जुड़ी राहें, आकाश को छू जाए है हर किरण में उम्मीद, हर दिल में अरमान। हर गांव, हर शहर, हर दिल में जोश जगाए, नवाचार के बीजों से हर कलियां मुस्काए। साथ चले, हाथ बढ़ाए, भारत को हरित बनाए। हरियाली की उड़ान, सपनों का आसमां, आदानी का विश्वास, ले चले हिंदुस्तान। धरा से जुड़ी राहें, आकाश को छू जाए है हर किरण में उम्मीद, हर दिल में अरमान।
Well, hello and welcome everybody. It's wonderful to have all of you, and we're delighted to have our chairperson with us as well. Hello and welcome to the 4th edition of the Adani Green Talks. That's why we are here. It's a platform that celebrates India's roots and our remarkable ingenuity. It's a place where we meet thinkers, we meet changemakers, and bold visionaries, people who are more than just entrepreneurs, Sikta. They are nation builders, and they're driven by purpose, seeing growth through the lens of goodness for people, for our planet, and for our collective future.
बिल्कुल विष्णु, नमस्कार। बीते 3 सालों में अडानी ग्रीन टॉक्स ने वो जगह बना ली है जहां सस्टेनेबल इनोवेशंस और रियल इम्पैक्ट आपस में मिल जाते हैं। हमने ऐसे प्रभावशाली विचार सुने हैं जो रियल प्रॉब्लम्स का समाधान करते हैं, वो समावेशी हैं, विस्तार और बदलाव लायक हैं विष्णु। साल 2023 में ऐसे 5 विचार चुने गए और आज ये समुदाय और हमारी सोच को बदल रहे हैं।
Well, India is a land of 1.4 billion people, and that's 1.4 billion possible ideas. While this journey began here, the ambition of the platform that we're going to be talking about goes far beyond. It is to reach nations where such spaces don't yet exist. That's what we're trying to do, to inspire the entire global south, because though our challenges may differ, and they may differ quite sharply, the spirit of innovation and of collective resilience, that's quite clearly shared.
विष्णु, जब नए विचार जन्म लेते ना, चाहे वो लैब्स में हो, क्लासरूम्स में हो, समुदाय में हो और नए कारोबार में, अडानी ग्रीन टॉक्स उन्हें देता है उड़ान के लिए पंख, नई पहचान, मार्गदर्शन और मदद, और सबसे अहम, आगे बढ़ने रहने का रास्ता।
Well, this is a bridge. It connects young aspirations of our India, of our world in fact, with policy and connecting the global south with a common purpose. What's that purpose? It is to turn ideas into action and a vision into a sustainable and into an equitable world.
तो अडानी ग्रीन टॉक्स कैसे नए विचारों को ऐसी ताकत में बदलता है जो देश को आगे बढ़ा रही हैं, देश को जोड़ रही हैं। इसी पर रोशनी डालने के लिए हमारे साथ हैं श्री सुदीप्तो, जो चीफ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ऑफिसर हैं अडानी ग्रुप के। सुदीप्तो जी, स्वागत है आपका मंच में।
Okay, great. So, welcome, Chairman, family members, of the chairman and distinguished guests, I'll have the chairman talk about who the distinguished guests are. But let me start off with a couple of stories to set context. How did Green Talks come about? It's about 10 years back that we were in the United States with the chairman, and we went to Yorktown to see IBM Labs. At IBM Labs, that was our first introduction to Watson. So we remember coming out after seeing the first signs of what AI could do, the chairman telling some of us who were with him that this is disruptive. What is it going to do to jobs? VCs are going to fund this to an extent where it will probably transform the world. Keep in mind, this is 10 years ago, a decade ago. 2017, a paper got published, Attention is All You Need. It's the most landmark paper in the history of AI because it transformed, and we went from what was traditionally called CNNs or convolutional neural networks to the whole world of transformers, which is GPT, generative pre-trained transformers. The fact that the VCs are now pouring billions and billions into it, and literally this was the same statement that was made to us by a chairman 10 years ago, is one story. Let me tell you the second story, and then we'll weave it all together. The second story is about 2 years back. The chairman calls me up and says, hey, I've been hearing about this kid called Pragnananda. Looks like his story is transformational, but I'm more moved by the stories of his parents. And he tells me it looks like his mother doesn't speak too much English, but travels around in the world, speaks Tamil. Father is differently abled. How does a boy from that background be taking over the world of chess? Now keep in mind, his rank that time was 14th in the world, 14th. So the chairman asks us, why don't you try and see if you can get him, but more importantly, get his parents to come and see us. So what do? We invite Pragnananda, he comes with his parents, and he comes with his coach. And after about an hour's discussion, the chairman asks him, what is it that you need? You tell me, what is it that you need? Not because you're asking me, but because I believe you can be an inspiration for our country, you can be an inspiration for all these children that look up to role models like you. His age at that time, 18 years. Rank 14th. The objective was never that we want to go in and support or sponsor somebody that is going to get to the top of the world. Fast forward to today, Pragnananda is ranked 3rd in the world, supposed to be the star that potentially could be the #1 chess player in the world, and has inspired a whole generation. Now why do we take these two stories spread almost a decade apart and put it all together? Because we are often seen as an organization that is highly capitalistic in nature. Whatever we touch, whatever we do, whatever businesses we get into, we become #1 in the nation. But what people forget is the social aspect of it. The social aspect, the way the family thinks, the way the chairman thinks, that at the end of it, India is a country of 1.4 billion people, and we need this platform. We need to have a social platform that touches the hearts and the souls and enables people across the entire nation. That was the nucleus, the genesis, the origination of this concept of what we call Green Talks. So, what did it translate into? The chairman spoke in 2021 October at the Global TIE Summit. It was in Hyderabad. COVID times, so it was all virtual, and we had 40,000 social entrepreneurs online. 40,000 social entrepreneurs. That's a staggering number. But the point is that was in October. After the summit, he told us, I need a similar platform where we can give voice. We can give voice to Indians, to Bharat, to people come from different parts of the country and be able to have them on stage. Go and make it happen. October 2021. December 2021 is when we do our first Green Talks. We call in 5 companies. A couple of them have done unbelievably well, and you will hear about it today when the chairman talks. But the entire philosophy of our Green Talks is to be able to build a community, a cohort, being able to pull all these companies together who come on stage and allow magic to happen. Innovation happens at intersections. The intersection of water technologies, the intersection of solar technologies, the intersection of AI. But innovation has got to have a heart in a country like India. That's why we get all the cohorts to be able to leverage the power of a community. Learnings multiply, cross-pollination happens, mutual ambassadorship seeps in because the community supports each other. And that's what we want. That's number one. The second point I want to make here is about purpose before profit. It's not that we seek to take equity investment in any of the companies, because that changes the whole equation. It changes the whole relationship that we have with the companies. So the objective is not to be able to take equity. The objective is to be able to build an ecosystem where capital is trust. We do give some grants, but that is for trust. But most importantly, it's about the impact. That's point number 2, why we put it together. Point number 3, Adani Group with multiple industries, ports, logistics, generation, transmission, distribution, mining, data centers, defense, you name it. We are in 17 different sectors. So there's not a sandbox like what we have in this country that allows all these social, innovative companies to come and test their solutions out. That's the power. We also don't just teach. We just don't offer platforms. We learn tremendously. Yesterday, when the chairman came in and met all this community that were together, the interaction was magic, and perhaps you will get to see some of the videos today on stage. Number 4, we have to be unapologetic about one fact, that Bharat, India today is the center of the world. We got to believe in it. Our chairman believes in it. We as a company believe in it. Nation building, growth with goodness is our motto. It's about a philosophy, and we are not shy about stating it with absolute clarity and absolute boldness. If India is going to rise, India's got to be the center of social innovation. That's what Green Talks is all about. 5th, health, education, skill development, energy, but most importantly, dignity is something that flourishes on a platform like this. When the chairman on his 60th birthday said, the family will put in 60,000 crores to be able to develop health, education, and skills. It was the first sign of a company saying, this is what I want to fund for Bharat, for India. That philosophy lives and is the very core of what we call Green Talks. And finally, what we have is we believe we are seeding a movement. There's not a single platform in the country, perhaps not in the world, that allows social innovation to happen, takes these companies that provide solutions that have massive social impact and pull it all together. And as Som was mentioning, that's what we want to do, to be able to take all these companies that have solutions that can help the Greater South, definitely help India, and be able to put them on one common platform so they share ideas. That's the best way. Not only can we bond our nation, but how we bond perhaps the entire world. And that aspirational ambition is something that the chairman wants to drive home. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
It starts quiet, like an idea you almost miss. Then the right hands touch it. Switch on. This is where ideas meet mentors, pilots, and a path to scale. Season after season, founders took the stage. Many took the leap. An idea is strongest when tested in the real world. AI, sensors, and software in everyday hands. Faster access, smarter decisions, wider reach. A street that lights up at dusk. A commute that runs cleaner. A farmer who earns more. Students, startups, mentors, and partners. From a small room to a big market. From ocean farms to green construction. From inclusive learning to smarter healthcare. From circular fashion to voices of youth. From Bharat to the world. Meet the changemakers of Green Talks 4.0. Together we build. Together we rise. This is your moment. Switch on. Adani Green Talks.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, at the heart of the Adani Green Talks is the conviction that growth and goodness can go hand in hand. To share his vision on how this journey is shaping India and inspiring the world, we are honored to welcome the chairperson of the Adani Group, Shri Gautam Adani. Sir.
Dear friends and colleagues, Namaste. I am delighted to welcome you to the latest edition of Green Talks. We began this series 4 years ago with a simple but powerful belief that we can learn and be inspired by those rare people who choose vision over comfort and possibility over security. Because Green Talks is indeed all about possibility, built on the belief that every fresh idea contains the blueprint for transformations. It reminds us that growth is not a linear. It is unpredictable and often invisible. That is, until suddenly a green shoot breaks through the surface, announcing a new chapter of freedom and hope. And within that tender green shoot is embedded the essence of every great dream that has gone on to create a history. हर अंकुर में छुपी है क्रांति की आवाज, यही छोटे बीज गढ़ते हैं महान इतिहास. As an entrepreneur, I know firsthand what it means to dream. After all, it is only the dreamers who dare that leave marks even history cannot erase. But even within the many entrepreneurs I meet, those that humble me the most are the social entrepreneurs. They begin not in search of fortune, but in search to build a better society. जो सपनों के लिए राह बदलते हैं, वही इतिहास की रेखाएं गढ़ते हैं. My dear friends and colleagues, in just 3 editions of Green Talks, hundreds of dreams have been evaluated and 15 remarkable companies have shared their visions on this very stage. In a world where 9 out of 10 startups failed, it has been fascinating to see how many of our dreamers have already beaten the odds. Let me share just a few of the extraordinary stories from each of our previous 3 Green Talks. Gen Robotics was a part of Green Talks 1. I will never forget the hard-hitting images of a manual scavenging that they presented. Real images that showed one of the darkest forms, the human indignity. Their answer to the crisis was bold. Robots capable of entering and cleaning the dirtiest of gutters and doing the work no human should ever to be forced to do. From that beginning, they have now grown to deploy over 300 robots across 21 states, freeing thousands from these degrading practices. Today, Gen Robotics, having profitably grown 250% since Green Talks 1, plans yet again to double its revenue, aiming for rupees 100 crores. They now stand at the forefront of India's National Namaste Mission, aiming to end manual scavenging once and for all. Navalt was a part of Green Talks 2. They have truly transformed the future of marine transport in India. From launching Indra, the nation's largest solar electric ferry, to Barkuda, a high-speed defense vessel, and now expanding their Marshall fleet, sailing across 9 states. Navalt is rewriting what is possible on water. Since Green Talks 2 in 2023, they have doubled revenue every single year, possibly delivering the lowest cost of a public transport in the world. Already profitable, their solar ferries operate at just 4 paisa per passenger per kilometer. Navalt has indeed redefined how the sun and water interface. Marut drones was a part of Green Talks 3. What they build is often seen as an aerial equivalent of a tractor and helping create a new class of agri-entrepreneurs. The company has already raised over rupees 50 crores, scaled to 3,000 units annually, and nurtured over 500 drone entrepreneurs. One striking example is the drone Didis of Kashi, where 9 women from Varanasi together sprayed 2,600 acres and earned over rupees 3.5 lakhs in just 10 months. Today, Marut Drones is powering the national Namo Drone Didi program, transforming rural women into confident agri-entrepreneurs. These are just some of the stunning stories of success of our participants. Each of them is a living proof that vision, backed with the perseverance, can bend the cold mathematics of probability. We want each of the Green Talk participants to see the Adani Group not just as a company, but as a vast sandbox of possibilities, a place where your ideas can be tested, your solutions refined, and your ambitions elevated. By engaging directly with our businesses and our leaders, I hope you will find both a platform and mentors invested in your growth. This is also why we welcome back our past participants, so we weave together a living ecosystems of our innovators who remain connected with us as they chart their own paths. Our objective is simple: to stand beside you, to open doors, and to do our best to support the journey you take. My dear friends and colleagues, last evening I had the pleasure of meeting some of this year's participants, along with many familiar faces from the past 3 years of Green Talks. Standing among so many confident young entrepreneurs was absolutely energizing. I felt very much on home ground. Also seeing the young faces, I could not help but I recall a time when many from my generations felt they had to leave India's shores to build their dreams. This generation is different. They are planting their ambitions firmly on an Indian soil, convinced that India itself will be the stage for realizing their dreams. No doubt, I found the evening to be immensely inspiring. यह वही भारत है जहां हर कोना एक चिंगारी है, बस सही हवा मिले तो पूरी दुनिया को रोशनी दे सकती है। And that realization forces me to reflect. It is a reminder of our shared responsibility to search out the brightest minds across our vast nation and prepare India to be ready for its second freedom struggle. Not a fight for independence for a foreign rule, but for independence in a technology and a social innovations that uplifts every community, bridges divides, and strengthens the very fabric of our democracy. This understanding is reshaping the concept of green talks. And so, beginning this year, we have extended our search so that every entrepreneur in India, whether it is a fisherwoman on Odisha's coast, turning discarded nets into a fashion clothes, or Ladakhi engineer trapping sunshine in a salt bricks to warm winter classrooms, or a hostel team in Pune wiring a broken e-bike batteries into a village microgrid, every innovator who dares to dream should be able to find their voice on this stage. And to further extend this vision, we are joining hands with NDTV. Together, we will aim to cast the net across Bharat to discover entrepreneurs and show that brilliance knows no boundaries and often emerges from the most unexpected postal codes of India Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. And if we were to extend our future ambitions, why should we stop our search at India's border? If a spark in Kutch can light a path in Kenya, or a student in Ceylon can co-create with a thinker in Sao Paulo, our eventual objective is to make Green Talks more than a stage. It should become a living platform of collaborations where India's innovations meets the world's imaginations. A place where social startups spark ideas, unite in purpose, and work for the betterment of humanity. It should be an ecosystem where every participant is bound not by transactions, but by shared mission to grow with goodness, to leave behind a brighter, more sustainable world. आओ मिलकर ऐसे बीज बोए जिनसे आने वाली पीढ़ियां उम्मीद और उजाले की फसल काटे। And so, we warmly invite like-minded partners and dreamers to join hands with Adani and bringing this vision of social co-innovations to life. My dear friends and colleagues, as I begin to wrap up, let me express my deepest gratitude to several of the guests in this auditorium. First, to every Green Talks warrior in this room, you represent the heartbeats of our nation's hope. Second, to the founder veterans of our Green Talks who have returned today, you are a proof that belief is immortal. Third, to the SDG award winners, this is the first time we have given these awards. I hope to see you soon on the Green Talks platform. And fourth, to the brilliant Vikrant Massey, whose 12th fail is more than a film. Not surprisingly, just 2 days back, he won the Best Actor Awards at the 71st National Film Awards. Vikrant represents the seed of hope planted in the hearts of millions of young Indians. Just as every green shoot breaks through the hardest soil, his story reminds us that resilience and perseverance can break through every barrier. And finally, to an extraordinary legend, Padma Vibhushan, Dr. Krishna Ella. The entrepreneur who in our darkest hour delivered the COVID vaccine, proudly stamped Made in India and safeguarded hundreds of millions of our brothers and sisters. Dr. Ila, your inspiring journey is a reminder that visionary entrepreneurships by an individual can indeed impact the fate of a nation. And the ability to impact the fate of a nation is the perfect lens through which to view everything you will hear today. 5 extraordinary journeys, entire lives of a tenacity and greed, distilled into just 12 minutes with the possibility to transform our social innovations. जितनी गहराई से हम भीतर की शक्ति पहचानेंगे, इतनी ही ऊंचाई से समाज को नई राह दिखाएंगे. As we listen to these stories, I would urge you to reflect on the tenacity of these young change makers, then turn inward and ask, how can each one of us individually help Green Talks grow? Not for personal glory, not just for our organizations, but as our shared contributions to the social entrepreneurs that are fighting for the upliftment of our society. And in doing so, we join our nation's second freedom struggle, freedom from our inequality, freedom from inertia, and a freedom from indifference. And that freedom to dream boldly, my friends, is what Green Talks is all about. Thank you. Jai Hind.